Hello, I am home today. And why am I home today? Everybody probably knows that box. The bodyguard has COVID. I don't have it yet. The minute I found out, I ran to the local drugstore and got my desk so I can look and see if I'm live. Oops, I gotta turn the blah. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Okay, so now I can see what I look like, which is really weird. Anyway, let's see, just move this over a little bit so I can look at myself. I got my fancy computer and a fancy camera because I was going to do videos here. See the squirrels, see Stitch, if Danny and Leah are floating around, the squirrels up there. My world is by squirrel. My Hello Kitty light that doesn't work. Anyway, I'm going to try to make this as normal as possible for me, which is I need to start out with I'm diddling around too much. Let me get this again. I'm not going to be interesting today. I think I have cooties. I'm just waiting till after this broadcast so I can still pretend I don't have it. Isn't that goofy? Okay, so what's in the notes today? Oh, actually, I was waiting for it to come in. If you're watching, your family misses you. Your parents miss you. Your teddy bear misses you. Teddy bear. Ooh, I have props. Teddy bear. Let's see. That is my spider. That's Harry. That is my teddy bear. That's Pineapple. He had a dull pineapple thing around his neck when my brother gave him to me. And that's Alex. Alex is a camel. Once upon a time, there was a disc jockey here named Alex Bennett, and he was on KMEL, which was known as the camel. Well, it wasn't known as the camel, but they had camels in their commercials. So when I got Alex, I asked my brother, he had an open studio where people would hang out. And so I asked him to take Alex to KMEL and show him, because I was 13 at the time. So it was really cool. And he did take him to go see Alex, and Alex thought it was neat, and that was it. So, but I have none of them now except for Pineapple. And Pineapple needs major repairs. And my mom stole him from me like 20 years ago to fix his nose for me, and I didn't get him back until after she passed. So that's why I don't have Pineapple sitting next to me. Except that guy is a hand puppet, and he's the one who's going to come with me one of these days, or maybe forever, to hold the gimbal. So yeah, so bodyguard has COVID, and call your family, call your friends. They miss you. You're watching this on the sly, and that's a good thing because you can go find out things and you can go back home. Your family will love you no matter what you have done or what you think you did bad. You don't need to leave your family. You need to leave Scientology, but you don't need to leave your family or your best friends or your cousins and uncles. I have an uncle picture. And this is the things I mention are usually what I talk about or what I've gone through. So it's like when I say you'll miss your favorite uncle that you hung out with during family get-togethers. Yes, that's me. And that's my favorite uncle. He had a Corvette. He was a playboy type for the longest time. One weekend I spent over his house while they were having parties in the penthouse apartment they had, him and his roommates. And the bathroom had a fuzzy toilet seat. It was really funny, or cover. But yeah, he would throw me up in the air, and I love the smell of cigarettes because he smoked cigarettes. Cigarettes? What am I talking about? See, I told you, I've got it. I'm just delaying the test, and I'm doing the bang on the desk thing again. Cigars. I have a weakness for cigars, and that's because my uncle smoked cigars and threw me in the air, and I looked like him a lot when I was a kid, and you saw that hairdo. That's from 1993. That's when I got my perm. And I was even sort of brown then. I don't know why or how I got this light. So breaking the action. Do you have your favorite uncle or aunt who used to like take you places and have teas with them and, you know, things like that? Do you miss them? Do they miss you? Have you heard from them since you went in? Just a question. Okay, back to the action. Anyway, so I'm going to try to do this even though I have cooties, but I'll be doing it from the desk. If I don't have cooties, then I'll go to San Francisco. I just figured I'd do the 2 o'clock thing, which I was actually being polite, never in, by letting Nora do her live until it was done. So because, you know, the second gens are a lot more, not important, but not relevant, are more, are just ahead in the line of the never ends. And if you hear that, that's the supermodel. She wants attention. Everybody has dogs. I have, or except for Tommy, I have one of those. So she's been meowing all day. She does not like her other consort to be ill. So she's not taking it well, and she's running all over the place. So, and because the bodyguard has a mask on, gloves on, and he's on the 2nd floor, I've been on the 3rd floor all day. So I don't get cooties. I've tried to fix everything. So yeah, see the bow? Wait, see the bow? Bow. I usually wear bows. The barrettes you've been seeing in my hair are, they're like they call themselves like a defense barrette or something. But it's like a multi-tool, so you can open up boxes and measure things, and it's hilarious, but I love it. So, and it's colored metal. See her? See the supermodel? She came back. Wonder if I can turn, nope, can't turn it. So I have to, I'm on a tripod I just bought. So if you can see the supermodel. Oh, she's hiding behind the lamp. Let's see, let's get, this is why I have, there you go. Say hi, Burger. She's just staring at it. She gets on camera on Fridays with the bodyguard because he does his Twitch thing. So, okay, adjustment. Isn't this fun? Tomorrow, if I have COVID, I probably won't care if I'm driving people crazy. So, break programming. You can go to an embassy and get a passport. They will give it to you, and they will make arrangements to help you get home. You just have to go in there and say something. If you're wanting to leave, there's the Aftermath Foundation, which is 888 FREEOO2. I haven't had a chance to look up SPTV Foundation yet, and I could be rude and do it right now, but I figured I would just wait until later because I haven't gone into that many things today, because I'm running a little slow and I'm keeping an eye on the bodyguard. So, and last time we had COVID together, I got it a day later and I got long COVID. So when he told me his test was positive yesterday, I was sort of stuck because all I think is that I'll get it, it'll go away, I'll get long COVID. Thrillsville. But I have a feeling, weirdly enough, that this channel is going to make me stay active. Today, the things in book history, I got COVID. Oh, talking about the latest Mike Rinder thingy-mabob, and I watched Rabbit do some Down the Rabbit Hole news. I watched Natalie. It's the first thing I do. I sit up and turn on Natalie because I'm West Coast. So I can go in there for the daily tea or the night before tea. She was talking about MR2. I'm trying not to say his name. So I got to hear about that, and made me think of the flea board warriors already. And the question is, who's the dog and who's the flea? I've always thought that we were the fleas. Well, we are the fleas. The streamers are fleas, that's for sure. I just want my dog to be a big Bernese. I love Bernese dogs. So I want my dog to be a Bernese, and I'll happily sit on top of his head with a little bitty flea camera, doing live streams from the top of someone's head, a big fuzzy dog's head. Oh yeah, and when I signed into my YouTube in the bathroom, because I have a big old computer in the bathroom to keep me, because I don't like being alone. And yes, TVs, videos, YouTubes, and audiobooks take up when the bodyguard's not around. So I don't get freaked out. When I turned on YouTube in the bathroom, it was to take a shower. There was a guy making a reaction to a Phil Collins song, You Don't Care Anymore. And it was so funny because it was like a rapper type, I guess. I missed a big boat on that one. That was actually funny because I've seen Phil Collins in concert. I live in San Francisco. So I've seen everybody. The only thing I regretted was band member without the band. The band member was a month earlier and it was better than the band, and I held out for the band. So I was sort of bummed. But yes, I've seen everybody. I've seen Bowie 5 times. 5 times. Starting when I was 16 years old. And yes, I miss him. That's not fair. Let's see. Signal blocking. Oh yeah, it looks like at the blue building that there's signal blocking again. So you need to call the FCC and make a complaint. And like I say all the time, on top of your family misses you, and your friends miss you, and your friends missed talking to you for no good reason. You can always walk out of the door and leave. San Francisco, the Bay Area is huge. Instead of going on BART to get to work, which you might have to do, or just get on BART and go in the opposite direction. Just ask somebody. They will probably give you a phone to talk on. Lend you a phone to talk on. So, okay, where were we? It doesn't say brain fog for nothing. Oh, the Exempt Status. I was watching Aftermath again. I need to start it all over again. That's what we do in this house, is watch over and over and over again. So I was on the 3rd season, 7th or 8th episode, and they were talking about tax exempt status. You get a tax exempt status from not having too much money also, on top of everything else, the religion thing. But that's why they keep buying buildings, because they can't have too much money on hand. If they do, they lose their status. So instead of helping people and doing charity work and helping people get on their feet, they buy buildings. So that's how, maybe by assessment, that when they bought the building, it was only $1 million, and now the building is $15 million and they're not doing anything with it. I wonder, would the IRS go for that? I mean, all the IRS people that they bothered before have to have retired by now. So maybe they can start again. I mean, I'm watching them, just all they do is like pick scabs All they do with people is just pick, 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 pick. It seems that's what they did about the billboard. That's what they do, probably have been doing the media. That's why we're not getting into, or we're not getting coverage that we should be getting, because they probably threatened the media like they've done everything else. And, you know, someone's got a scandal for some reason. So I like being a little person. All my scandals are very open. And I grew up in San Francisco, or in the Bay Area, Oakland. I grew up in Oakland, so our scandals aren't scandals here. They're just normal. So yeah, signal blocking, FCC, really easy. Make a complaint. They'll investigate it if enough people complain, and then they'll bust them undercover. Let's make people paranoid like we are. I'm just paranoid because I'm a Gen Xer and I grew up in the Cold War. But let's make them paranoid, because the FCC will come in undercover. So they will not know who the heck it is. And then they'll bust them. And then they'll get in trouble. And I don't know how much trouble you get in anymore. I need to look that up. Warnings, fines, whatever. Maybe the fines are nice and big now, because the FCC does not like people hijacking their air. So that would be a good one, wouldn't it? Oh, I'm babbling bad. I was at 6 and now I'm at 4. Well, I'm fighting COVID. I was happy with 1. So, nobody's talking to me today. Poor me. I am slightly pathetic because, as you can tell, my throat hurts a little bit. This might be short. No drapes. It feels so weird being home. I know I started out at home, but it feels weird being here because I'm so used to like bubbling up and down, you know, was it Montgomery and Columbus? And I'm not right now. So it's a little weird. I'm tired. Taking the test after this, and it'll probably be positive. I like the fact that I came with props. So if you wanted to know why I was a little brown girl, see, I was a little brown girl. That was in a house in San Francisco that I lived. And the doorway behind me and the hallway behind me, yes, was lavender, purple, and another purple. We used to call it the hallway of religious consciousness, because it just looks straight out of a cult movie. Don't know. But it was like, yeah, now goth has turned me into a paper white native, which I didn't think was possible. So let's see. Oh, for people who want to know, LRH died of a stroke. He did not vacate his body. His body vacated him. I'm sorry. So I'm here going up and down my stairs a lot, which are very strange because I have big stairs. They were made for 6 foot tall people. And at least I was relatively in shape on the inside, that this COVID won't kill me, or won't even, hopefully, no, my COVID will not give me long COVID. So the bodyguard says I probably don't, but I probably do, because it's just statistically impossible considering how much we've touched things, each other, handed drinks, whatever. So, excuse me. Wow, my throat is messed up. So yeah, I'm not even like in the babbling way. Yesterday, I don't think I was very babbly either, because I was tired yesterday and didn't know why. Got the curtain tack yesterday, but one of the curtains fell down and they never put it back up on the door. That was really weird. But maybe it's a weekend thing, because last weekend they didn't even put up the curtains for me in the front. In the back, they put the curtains up, but I had never seen that big old Scientology thing that was on the wall above. You walked in, and since it was a financial institution to begin with, had these huge ceilings, and in the back door it had an atrium sort of thing that went into a regular height, and so up there in the wall of the like end of the atrium has a Scientology big old sign, blah blah blah. I think I got it. I should come down the other way when I go there next time, so they won't see me, so I can film it again, because I never noticed it. But yeah, and then I thought it was actually the child who threw me off, because I saw a child there, probably 6 or 7 or whatever. And that sort of threw me off big time, because I don't like saying things that might get a kid thinking, because we all know how cognizant we were. We're not adults, but we sure as heck did know what was going on around us. So I didn't want him to get all sort of muddled up, and I think he was gone by the time I came back to the front again. So I did my usual. I'm actually thinking about making sort of like a script for it, because even though the brain fog is doing better, it's not perfect. So thinking about writing it down on the front of one of my notebooks. That way I can sort of like refer to it, because the stories are ad-libbed, because I am trying to think of what would penetrate best at the time. And so it'll change with the seasons and the weather and things like that. But yeah, I take the stories from when I was growing up and adapt it to them, because I'm thinking there are a lot of things that are pretty darn normal once I wasn't ignored anymore. And can use them to make people think, because yeah, it's to stop the tax exempt status, but I seem to have taken over for, I want them to think, so they'll leave and go back home and get a life, or get a life that doesn't include the society. And as we all know, I call it a society because they don't do any kind of charity whatsoever. And I've always considered a religion to have charity. I don't think there are any major religions that do not do charity. So I think you need charity, or if that's part of religion, that's what I need to do, is look up what religion really means, and at least on the internet. I was going to call it the real world. It's my real world. It's been my real world since 1979, and then having my family who was ensconced in the internet becoming alive. And my famous line when I was showed the web, I said it would never work, that it would still be just a school thing. So yeah, I saw my first webpage 92, I think. But yeah, me mocking it. Most people don't know or care, and I just keep reminding people that I said it would never work. But it's sort of a it's sort of a jinx I have. I don't watch brand new television shows because I can kill them really fast. Every time I've tried to watch pro football, which would make my dad happy, someone has gotten injured. So things like that. I think I carry a little bitty curse with me. So it's not the end of the world, but you want to see me in The Bodyguard back when I was wearing color, because, or yeah, the pictures where I have color is because I wanted to be nice to my family. We're overly polite when I was growing up, I guess. Or being called the black sheep, bad influence to my own family was like, so I would try to be good. So this is me and The Bodyguard. Probably 2 years after we were dating, maybe a year after we were dating. If he's watching it downstairs, he said he was going to. He's probably laughing right now, and I'm glad it focuses. So I think that might be all for now, because I don't feel like I'm saying anything that not is relevant, but saying anything that would knock on anybody's brain except for those that are watching Sneaking this one. Yes, everybody misses you. Your mom probably has her teddy bear or moose or squirrel or stuffed cat. Garfield. It's an old comic book character. Hello Kitty. That's not an old comic book character, as you can tell. Can you see the kitties? Well, heck, the light. No, this one. The light alone. The I've got a problem. So, and I haven't eaten today yet, and I don't know why. I can start making myself hungry by eating the potato chips I bought last night when I went to go get the COVID tests. Supermodel's asleep next to me. She is a Norwegian Forest cat, in case you're wondering, and she's going to be 7 this year. She was a rescue. Everything I've had is a rescue. The one right there was the one who drank out of my cups and is the reason I have all the lids. She was 10 when I found her head in my water glass and went, oh great, for the last 10 years I've been drinking cat water. So that is why. She moved into my last house with the bodyguard before I did by 2 months. Doesn't remember much of her anymore, but this is my baby. And yes, I had a pure white cat and I wore black. That's why we know that I'm nuttier than a fruitcake. So yes, that's my baby. Her name was China because I wanted to name her drugs when my roommates got me her. And it was the 80s. And they didn't think it was a good idea. And one of my family members was my roommate. He came home and I said, look, because my other roommate said, well, you can take her back. And I'm like, no, I can't. She's a rescue. I'm not going to do that. So I showed my family member. I said, look what I got. And he said, okay. And I said, well, they won't let me name her drugs. And he goes, well, what else could we name her? And we both were like, And I said, China, for China White, cocaine. Or that's what we called it. I think heroin could also be called China White. So her name was China. My other roommates, who were very straight-laced, didn't know anything about bad movies, thought it was a great idea. So I had a cat named China. And she's the reason I stopped smoking. Because one time when I moved and she got on her cat tree against the white wall was this nicotine-stained cat. I never smoked inside my house ever again since then. But I had her for 17 years and it only took me 10 to realize she was drinking out of my water. So everything I have now has a lid on it. One of the few good things Starbucks ever did was making lidded cups very in your face. So, and since it was Starbucks, at the time, you bought the cups. Well, I buy the cups now when an old one dies, because they do keep my things hot and warm. This one, I can't remember why, but it's got a dent in it. I might have almost ran it over or something. This is where the brain fog comes in, because I had this one for easily 10 years, but the big dent is from something major. Back on to a subject. Call your family. They miss you. Call your friends. They miss you. Write a letter. You don't. I know do snail mail. It's harder to catch, and there are post offices and mailboxes and a big post office in San Francisco. And wherever you are, there's a post office near you somewhere. If you're not in San Francisco, depending on what city you're in, you should be able to find things there. And like I said, if you're from out of the country, go to your local embassy and ask for a passport. Tell them yours was taken and that you need to go home because this is not where you thought you were going to wind up. So I think that's it for today. I'm really tired. Go figure. You'll know tomorrow what my status is, because if I don't have COVID, I'll be out in the streets. I'll be in the city. If I do have COVID, I'll probably put something in community that says, I'm tired. So anyway, people, I will talk to you later. I've done enough babbling for today. Bye.